So for today's card project, we are going to be using It's Your Birthday and the birthday hats. And from the birthday hats design, we are using the little streamers that fall from the ceiling or whatever, or those poppers that people might have. We're using that as part of the background to create a background. And then we're using these stamps, and we are using a postage collage background die from Waffle Flower that I had left over when I made my Christmas cards. So I thought, let's try it using these stamps. And this is a birthday card for a 4-year-old girl, or soon to be 4-year-old girl, and it's in her favorite colors, pink, purple, and orange. So let's get started. So to start the project, I cut the postage stamps out on 110-pound cardstock, Nina Solar White, and I cut them apart because I did not want to keep it together, obviously. I wanted to separate them, and I wanted to lay some of them at different sideways as opposed to the ways that they are in the die cut. So sitting them on my sticky mat, and I am masking off the edges using tape so that the very edges of the stamps keep a clean, white, crisp edge. So that didn't take too long. So for this first batch, I am using Distress Oxide mustard seed, or mustard yellow, mustard seed. And then I start off in the first smears, or the first blends. I do a darker swatch in the middle, and then I get more ink, start in the middle, but then swirl to the outside. So it's darker in the middle and lighter on the outside. So it looks like I used a couple colors, but it's really just an easy way to get the blend. So then for the second one, I tried Salvage Patina and I ended up not liking it. So I went over it with Mermaid Lagoon with Distress Oxide. But I did the same process, just masked off the edges so they stay crisp and clean, and then did the same inking technique. On these, though, I wanted, here I'm coming in with Mermaid Lagoon. I re-inked over everything, remasked it. And then when I finished doing all the re-inking, I took my little distress spray bottle and sprayed all of these and just dotted it off just for a little more depth and a little more texture on them. And I will say the purple tape worked great. There was not one single smear or tear or anything. And then please forgive my cold. So for some of the stamps, like the balloon, and then one of them is the banner that comes with the It's Your Birthday stamp set. I wasn't cutting out strings, so I cut out the main pieces, and I'll show you how I cut it out in a little bit here. But so the balloon, I stamped the balloon so that the string is on the stamp, and then I did the banners. And so I just cut the balloon out that I had colored with Copic markers and then glued it over the stamped image so that the string shows. And then here for the little banners, I'm just cutting out the little banners and then gluing them on where they belong on the stamp so that the string is on there too. So it's a much simpler way than trying to figure out how to fussy cut around all the string, especially when some of us are not the biggest fans of fussy cutting. But here I am doing it. And it took me a little bit to figure out how I wanted everything arranged on there, but we got it done. I think it actually took me like 6 or 7 different tries to figure out what I wanted. Yep, going back and choosing a different flag, or pennant, I suppose I could almost call them that. And then because I fussy cut them out, I come with my Memento pen and go around the edges. And you want to do it from the back. If you go from the front and you accidentally miss and hit your image, it's no fun. Ask me how I know that. So I went around the back and then went along the edges so that there was black along the edges, so it looked a little more clean. And then there's the balloon. Now you can see the string. And now here comes Patty fussing with the pennants. And the pendants are, they're all different sizes. And I love that they're hand drawn and they're all unique like that. So got it settled, gluing everything down. And then my stamps are ready to go. And I just actually had laid out all the stamped images on there and cut them out on their stamp background. So now I'm going to glue them down. And so it's kind of nice that, you know, like these stamps worked perfect for that kind of postage collage die. So if that's something you have, don't be afraid. You don't have to just use it with the stamps that come with the set or with the stencils that the company sells. You can shop your stash and use it for other things. And I really like how this worked. It's very charming. So here I'm cutting out in that die set that I showed in the beginning. I'm cutting out streamers. So I just wanted to show me cutting those out in the different colors. And now I cut out a piece of vellum to put over the streamers. You can see I glued all the streamers onto a piece of white cardstock. I wasn't going to make you watch me glue streamers. Pretty basic stuff there. So trying to figure out, get that correctly in the center. And that one is popped up with some foam tape, and then all the other images will be glued underneath it. So that one is the kind of the focal image. Oh, my glue gun decided to stick, so I had to go and reach for the tape runner. So anyway, I'd cut some vellum out with a rectangle, and then it's got the diagonal stitches. It's from MFT Stamps. Cut that out, and then added my images because the streamers were just a little distracting, but I really like them, and I know little Miss Claire is going to love those, so I had to have them. And then adding my sentiment, I believe it says sending your birthday wishes. So I just like that it says sending on there with the postage stamps. It just makes sense. It goes well together. So then gluing it down. And then I did a lot of finishing touches off camera. Like here I'm gluing it to my card base, and then I'll put on some of the waffle flower gems. But I did like the glossy accents. I think I did some of that off camera. So when you're looking at the finished product, know that I used it on like the flames of the candles and on the balloon and maybe a little bit on the cake. And then I also did the black gel pen on the eyes, and then did glossy accents on the eyes, and then did the white gel pen over it. Full disclosure. And then did some highlights too. After everything had dried, I came in with the white gel pen and did some highlights. So I'm just stamping my sentiment, and the paper that I'm using has a little bit of a gloss to it, so it did take the ink a little bit to dry. I did have to come in with my heat gun just to get it to dry. But I really like how the sentiments go together, so you can do the inside and the outside of the card. A lot of times I am looking for, you get a cute sentiment with a stamp set, and then I'm looking for something to put on the inside, and this came with everything, which was really wonderful. And the font is so darling. It just really goes with the illustrations. So then the card is pretty much finished, so we will just do the wrap up. So then this is the card we made. Again, the background postage dies was waffle flowers. The vellum was MFT's stitched border die, I believe it's called. And then the streamers are from the birthday hats, and the stamps are obviously from It's Your Birthday. And again, they're Copic colored. I think they are just darling stamps. And with the postage dies being so popular now, it's just nice to go through and look at what you have. And these are all smaller images, so I knew that they would fit on there. So thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great day. Bye-bye.